Most men find the red pill as a result of trauma, as a result of some harsh breakup or maybe even a harsh divorce that you recently went through. And you start looking for answers for what went wrong, what you could have avoided, what you could have done differently. That is how most guys find the red pill. Back in the old days, before there was even this manosphere, what we call the manosphere today, where you have these different factions, where you have MGTOW, red pill, and then you have PUA. Back then it was only PUA, it was only pickup, right? We only had the pickup community because that's where a lot of this red pill, or all of it, I want to say, all of the factions of the manosphere originated from. It all evolved from the pickup community. I've said this before, and a lot of these top red pill guru guys who've been around for decades now have admitted that. So luckily these guys have at least come clean and been like, yeah, if it wasn't for the pickup community and all those early pickup artists out there doing game in field and, you know, reporting their infield lessons on these forums, we would not have what is known as the manosphere today. We would not have had MGTOW. We would not have had the red pill, because it was a lot of us early PUAs who were coming back and reporting upon what we were experiencing in field, in these venues, in these bars, in these clubs, you know, dating these women. We are the ones who are out there reporting this. And having been one of the earliest pickup artists out there that was on these forums, the first one was called Alt Fast Seduction. That was one of the first ones, and then came along So Suave. But I remember I used to post a lot of my infields on Alt Fast Seduction. And this is like late 90s, by the way. It was like 98, 99. I was posting as early as that. I remember even back then, like almost every guy who was finding the pickup community, who was finding our forum, and who was asking us for coaching, these guys were fresh out of a relationship or fresh out of a marriage, just got divorce raped, and these guys were not only looking to get back out there, but more importantly, they were looking for answers like, why did this go wrong? Why did she leave me? Why did she cheat on me? I gave her everything. I invested my life into her. I introduced her to all my family and friends. She was my world. I thought she loved me. How could she do this to me? You know? She just got up and left. She just met this guy a week ago and now she's living with him. How could she do this to me? And then they found us, you know? And now from what you're seeing out there is now we've kind of like branched off into these different factions where there's PUA, MGTOW, and red pill. For the most part, even MGTOW is part of the red pill, right? Because they shoot out a lot of red pill theories, as does pickup artistry. I think I'm like the only pickup artist out there actually teaching red pill game. I don't think any of these other guys want to touch it, and I don't blame them, because, you know, it would kill their business. But I believe in just 100% transparency when it comes to that. It's like, dude, you're gonna find out eventually, so I might as well be the one who tells you. Right? I've been out there gaming the longest out of most of these pickup guys who are out there. I think I've outlasted all of them, right? I'm like one of the first and one of the last remaining like old school PUAs, cold approach pickup artists, that is still actively out there teaching and approaching girls. So when it comes to learning like red pill stuff, guys who find us are coming from some sort of traumatic event that they just experienced. Some of these guys, the same day they get dumped, the same day they get their divorce papers, they're right onto the red pill stuff, right? They're bypassing relationship counselors and they're going right to the red pill for answers, because they know relationship counselors are a scam. If you want to talk about scam, there's your scam right there. Relationship counseling. You know, most relationship counselors these days are female, and they kind of always have been. And if you ever go to relationship counseling with your partner, believe me, they're going to get on you. Even if you're the one who's in the right, they're going to hold you responsible a majority of the time, you know, for most of what went wrong. Between the relationship counselor who's female and your wife or your dating partner, all they're going to do is just be like, you, fix this, fix that, do this, do that. And they're just going to give you a lot of blue pill reinforcement, right? A lot of beta reinforcement, and give you all of these horrible advice for how to make your dating partner, your LTR, your wife, even more dry down there, right? Even more dry and less wet for you. So just understand, when it comes to the red pill, most men find it as a result of trauma. You yourself, you could even look at your own story. Like, why did you start looking for red pill videos and information? How did you come across this community? You came across it because you probably went through a traumatic event in your life, right? You started getting online and you started digging for answers because you want to fix yourself. You don't want to make the same mistake again. You don't want history to repeat itself. And I really commend you for that. I commend guys who actually take responsibility and step up and try to find out what they did wrong. Because that takes balls, man. It takes balls to admit, like, hey, maybe I sucked at something. Maybe I need to fix this. Maybe I need to get better. Maybe I need to find the answers, right? It takes balls to do that because a lot of guys don't have those balls. A lot of guys are little bitches, right? No, I didn't do anything wrong, it's all her, or I'll just find the next one. A lot of guys say that too. I just get the next one will be better. And it's like, dude, until you fix what went wrong in this relationship, you're just going to repeat that in the next relationship. And trust me, I've been there. I mean, I was always great at cold approach. So I was always like, oh, my last girlfriend, what a cheating bitch. The next one, man, the next one's going to be the one. And then I'd get into that one and then I'd repeat the same mistakes. Then I'd get the same result. So until you fix what's going wrong at the core, history is going to continue to repeat itself. Okay? I mean, you could look at your own red pill journey, like what led you to this, right? And I might have brought you into this. Maybe you were looking for dating advice. Maybe you're looking for pickup advice, which, again, was probably a result of some trauma that you experienced, some breakup or unsuccess with women. And then you started looking for answers and you found me. And then the more you dug into it and the more you started going out there and applying my techniques, you started to see behavioral patterns with women that nobody ever told you about. Your parents, teachers, society all kept it from you because they didn't know themselves, but you learned it through me. You're like, shit, he's right. Wow, women do display these behaviors from time to time, or some women could be really vengeful or nasty or this or that. You learn even more red pill truths that you were not taught by the blue pill matrix, that were kept hidden from you by the blue pill matrix, right? Because obviously they want to empower the feminine and they want to do it at the expense of disempowering the masculine, right? And this is why I tell you guys, if you have other like-minded friends, you should bring them into the red pill community as well so they can be educated, right? And we can kind of like give these guys the antidote to all of that blue pill brainwashing that they've experienced their entire lives, right? You're talking a lifetime of brainwashing from movies, television, advertising, music, Hollywood, right? This is a lifetime of brainwashing that you need to unplug from. It saddens me when I see guys that have finally got the lifestyle that they want, finally making the type of money that they want, finally got the job that they want or the business that they've always wanted created. Everything's going good. And then they finally meet that perfect girl, or they think that's the perfect girl, right? They're like, finally, my life is complete. But they're going into that relationship with blue pill indoctrination, with a blue pill mindset. Like, oh yeah, let me just pedestalize her and treat her like a princess and everything will be gravy. And then next thing you know, it's like, this girl starts to like wreak havoc in his life. She starts to become destructive in the relationship, and this guy can't figure out why. It's like, I'm doing everything for her. I'm doing everything. I'm telling her how I love her every single day. It's like, your wish is my command, and the guy is wondering, like, why isn't this working? And this is why you see a lot of these guys out there just hanging themselves, right? Just killing themselves off, just committing suicide. Right? Anthony Bourdain was the last one that I could think of off the top of my head. Just hung himself because he couldn't fulfill that blue pill fantasy like a lot of blue pill men are trying to do. I always say feminism, leftism, they have so much blood on their hands, it's not even funny, right? They are responsible for so many male deaths and people just jumping off buildings. It's not even funny. Worse than the Black Plague, man. These people are responsible for so many people's deaths. It's insane. Not even just men, even like transsexuals and transgenders, whatever you want to call them. Back in the day, we just used to call everyone transvestites, but they're responsible for them too, because they're not encouraging them to get help. They're just encouraging them to keep acting this out and forcing society to just adhere to it, right? Just forcing us to adhere to it out of empathy. And you know what? Hey, a lot of people out there aren't that empathetic. They're just gonna be like, screw that, man, and just start cutting this person down. Not to get too far off topic here though, guys. Yeah, point of this coaching video is guys don't find the red pill because life is gravy, everything's going well. Guys find the red pill because life is not going well and they're experiencing pain, right? They're experiencing pain because, as I say, you don't grow from pleasure, you grow from pain. You don't go seek out answers because life is good. You go seek out answers because life is sucking, right? Because you're feeling that confusion. And something's wrong. Something is not right, right? And when you find the red pill, this is why you go through that red pill rage. So many guys go through the red pill rage once they find us, because they feel like they've been cheated. That's why these guys go through that red pill rage. It's because they feel like they've been cheated and they feel like they've been lied to. And you know what? You have, right? You have. You've been cheated and you've been lied to and you've been indoctrinated, and you know what? It's never helped you. It's kept you from living your life to your full potential, and it's really kept you from enjoying the things that you've always wanted to enjoy, even just like a relationship with a woman, like a lot of these guys once had, right? Where their woman might have dumped them or divorce raped them. That relationship did not have to end that way. And it's like, yeah, you can attribute it to the girl being a bitch and, oh yeah, she had too many feminist ideas. Yeah, of course. But you know what? There are a lot of turns, there are a lot of moves you could have done differently that wouldn't have led to that result, right? But that's what you learn from the red pill, right? You see your mistakes, you see what you could have done differently. That way, when you move forward, you don't do it again, right? You don't do it again. And as I've mentioned on my channel, the last girl who dumped me was over, it was like 13 years ago now, 14 years ago. That was the last time. And even that girl came back at that time. But I have not been dumped since. Why is that? Is that just, is that just a lucky streak? Like a quarterback who doesn't throw an interception for 13 games straight? No, it's just because I got red pilled, right? I got red pilled. I saw exactly all of the things I was doing wrong previously, and I fixed it. And I just didn't make those mistakes again. It was that simple. And since then, nobody has ever dumped me. Not a single girl. And I've dated plenty since then, and it's always been me who's been walking away. And it's almost become sort of a bad habit, like walking away constantly the second somebody does something I don't like. I just take off, right? Or I ghost them. I let them know it's not okay. I don't tolerate that behavior. Whereas back in my old blue pill days, I did tolerate that behavior. I did put up with girls' bullshit because I felt like that's what you're supposed to do as a man, mister. That's what you're supposed to do. That's what good men do. And it's like, no, that's not what good men do. That's what weak men do. Then you learn to stand up for yourself. Thanks to the red pill, you learn to make yourself the star of your own movie versus her, right? You put your needs before hers, you put your happiness before hers, and you kind of let her live vicariously through you and your goals. And that's really what keeps women happy and keeps them from leaving you, is when they feel like, oh, I could trust this guy to stay on his path and purpose, to be a man, to not let me take him off of that path or distract him or, constantly shit test him. I can trust him to be a man. And that's when women will not leave you. That's when they will respect you enough to stay with you, right? That's when they'll respect you enough to stay with you. And as I teach my dating students, women must always respect you just a bit more than she loves you, right? So I'm going to wrap up here. Until next time, this is Matt Cross from Alpha Male Secrets. Do not forget to destroy that like button below. Also, hit that notification bell right next to it so that you're notified whenever I release a brand new coaching video here on the YouTube.